Hi there, this is Dr. Eve Ruiz. I'm so grateful that you have stopped by my channel, Eve Spirit Speaks MD, so that you can hear energetically engaging with narcissism. This one is going to be just a little bit outside the box because I've had two people mention to me in the past 48 hours the business about dealing with someone who does not allow them to be heard. These are both narcissists that are doing this to them. What does it feel like to not be heard? Can any of you identify? Oftentimes, there can be some background sound, background noise. There can be a difficult cell phone connection. There can be so many reasons that you might not be heard. What, though, is the excuse when there are no technical, mechanical, or other types of obstacles? Well, aside from a person who is attempting to listen, maybe being distracted or preoccupied by personal things going on in their lives, or distracted because they are multitasking, there is also the possibility of someone who is not hearing by intention. Narcissists like to hear what they want to hear and like to ignore the rest. If they don't feel that what is being told to them is adding to their sense of gratification, they may simply expel it. It doesn't exist in their universe. Or they may, if you were to, while speaking with them, repeat or emphasize, they may attempt to minimize it, dismiss it, or may disregard it entirely and change the subject back to them. One of the ladies was talking about how the man that she's with wants unconditional approval by her. What this translates to, unfortunately, at times is dishonesty from his end. And when she confronts him about the need for honesty, well, you can imagine with a narcissist being told that what he or she is gaining gratification from is not working and needs to be cut out. You can imagine how far this is getting inside their head. Not. Usually, they're going to ignore that altogether, but so that they can keep manipulating you and playing mind games, they'll tell you whatever you want to hear. There we go with that people pleasing again, so that they can manipulate you later on. Another woman spoke with me recently about another woman in a gathering coming up to her and placing her hands right on her chest and beating it like a drum. Flagrant boundary violation. It's one thing if the two were in a romantic partnership, for instance, or maybe even young sisters were growing up and play fighting with each other. This was neither one of those situations. What happened next was that the woman who was speaking to me quickly said no, to which the narcissist said, "No, what?" The first woman then said again, "No." And you know that ad about no meaning no? She went there. And the question that I was asked after this incident was relayed, because apparently the narcissistic woman has been on a string of inappropriate behaviors, violating boundaries. and is still not registering a no. Once more, the question that I was being asked by this woman dealing with the other was, when will she get it? How many more no's does she need to hear before she gets this? My question to you in this situation is, how many more boundary violations will you accept before you stop this altogether? You see, the narcissist, the other person, is not in charge of your space. You are. If someone violates your kingdom, your personal space, whatever you feel is no other person's land, unless you invite them in. You, and you only, have the divine right to set a limit. If you do attempt to set a limit and it is not being listened to, you may repeat. However, when you find a person asking you as if they did not understand the word no, while they are flagrantly violating your boundaries, radar, mind game, leave. Say, never mind. See ya. Goodbye. Heading out. Pearls before swine. Don't waste time. The more you engage in mind games with them, the more you are setting yourself up for manipulation. One of the important signs of being with someone who is selfish, narcissistic, is when you don't feel heard. They have no trouble hearing you when you are helping them out, when you are especially flattering or praising them, when you are doing their work for them, when you are allowing them to manipulate you. But as soon as you draw a boundary and they are not happy with that, this is selective deafness, and this is not to be tolerated. You are hearing it here now. Resist playing mind games. Walk away. Do not entertain any further discussion aside from saying that's a blatant boundary violation. You're basically giving them this message that you will not tolerate their going into your space. Narcissists make a career out of doing it. So the more you stand up for yourself, especially early on in knowing this coworker, this neighbor, this whoever the person is to you in your life, the more you nip this kind of behavior in the bud. Narcissists like people they can play with. That cat and mouse game. Have you ever noticed the mouse isn't really very happy? You don't deserve to be a mouse. But I'm referring to the way the cat plays with the mouse. We don't need to be baited. We don't need to be having things dangled in front of us and then removed. We don't need someone pulling the rug out from beneath us and then going after us with all their might. We don't need anyone dragging us down. We don't need anyone pretending one thing and then suddenly revealing and turning 180 degrees on us. No, that is the word to focus on for today. And if they don't hear it, actually, they do, and they're ignoring you. Walk away. That's all for today. If you are tired of dealing with your narcissist and willing to dig in and do deeper work within yourself and what you have control over, text me at 949-424-4494. And I can see about giving you a few helpful tips. And if you might be ready to truly make a committed change with expert assistance, express your interest in joining my current program. Changes are on the way. Please stay well. There is such a dangerous variant of COVID coming around. I am hearing such distressing news from nurse friends I know and others I know who are dealing with the long hauler symptoms, who are dealing with so many variables that I would never wish on anyone. Please take the care you need for yourself and your loved ones. You all deserve it. Listen to my weekly empowerment readings. Give them a shot. Always subscribe if you enjoy, and give a thumbs up to an episode if you appreciate the message that is being given. Thank you so much. Namaste.